Hi, I'm Joe Polizzi, and this is the Content Inc. podcast. 5 minutes every Monday for content creators who desire to be content entrepreneurs. For all you newer listeners to the Content Inc. podcast, my charity of choice is Orange Effect Foundation. Since 2014, OEF has delivered speech therapy and speech technology grants to over 400 children in 39 states. We are the funder of last resort for most of these families, where if they don't get support from an organization like OEF, it just wouldn't happen, which is honestly a tragedy. Now, our biggest fundraiser is Monday, August 5th in Elyria, Ohio. It's the 18th annual OEF Golf for Autism. And we're actively looking for whole sponsors at $250 each. Or if you're local to the Northeast Ohio area, please join us. Just go to oefgolf.com. That's oefgolf.com to donate or to sign up. And thank you so much. I hope to see you there. When I was growing up, we never had any family reunions. There was never any need. I saw my cousins on a regular basis, and we'd get together to go swimming or for birthday parties or for no reason at all. As I got older, active in high school and then moved away to college, it was a rare occasion seeing my extended family. If it was summer and there was a graduation party maybe or a wedding, but honestly, these gatherings became few and far between. From when I graduated college up until just a few years ago, there were years in between the times I would see my cousins, my aunts, and my uncles. We all settled into our own separate lives and clusters. I think back and wonder if this was my failing, that maybe I should have done a better job keeping up with everyone. But maybe it's no one's fault, that these things just happen as we get older. In 2017, I was on my annual spring golf trip, and it was a year where my dad went. He was almost 80 years old at the time, and we struck up a conversation about Sicily, where his parents were born. He told me his one regret was never seeing the house his mother was born in, never seeing his cousins who lived in Marsala, never knowing the land where his family came from. Now, mind you, my dad never talked this way. He never talked of regrets and never discussed traveling anywhere. This was new information to me. Now, 2017 was my last year at Content Marketing Institute. My wife and I sold that business in 2016, and I was due to end my time at CMI at year's end. That meant 2018 was completely wide open. I could do whatever I wanted to do, and it was truly a blessing. I reached out to a few of my cousins in the States who had visited Sicily in the past. After a few days, I found the email and phone number for my cousin who lived in Milan, whose parents still lived in Petrosino just outside Marsala, Sicily. And Marsala is the furthest point west in Sicily, and Petrosino is a small suburb of Marsala. 6 months later, in February of 2018, my father and I were on a trip to Sicily. This was his first trip outside North America. We spent a week in Marsala, culminating with a huge gathering in Petrosino with over 50 of my cousins, all of whom I met for the first time. It's hard to describe the emotion of that event, as well as the entire trip. I guess this was the moment I doubled down on family. Just a few years later, during the peak of COVID-19, my father's sister, my godmother, passed away. At the funeral, I saw and talked with my cousins who I hadn't seen in years. We talked as family does at an event like this. How have you been? We should get together more outside of funerals. And why don't we? Why don't we? Well, the only reason I could think of is because no one was leading the effort to make it happen. The last 3 times we got together was for a funeral. No one wants this. I contacted 2 of my cousins with the idea of a family reunion. They were on board. We dusted off the family spreadsheet and made the rounds to update it. We tried to include everyone. In the summer of 2022, almost 50 attended the family reunion, and it was a huge success. I met and re-met my cousins from years past. I met some people I didn't even know were family. We all committed to gathering at least every 2 years. It's amazing what an event like that will do, Over the past 2 years, there have been meetings, text messages, emails, and updates from family all over the country. You know, those small little gestures that keep us close to each other. I found that these things are the glue that keeps the momentum going. Last week, we celebrated the 2024 version of our family reunion. Almost 70 attended this year. I met even more of my cousins who I didn't know were my cousins, and it all felt just right. This fall, I'm headed back to Marsala, this time with my wife. I told my family in Sicily in 2018 that I'd be back, and I'm keeping my promise. I'm excited about the path forward with my family. In looking back, I realized that something was missing, and I wanted it to be different. Now, this paragraph from an article on consistency shares my thinking best. It says, if you find yourself in a position today where things are not as you wished they would be, whether that be in your personal or business life, start by changing your behavior. Ask yourself what you can do every single day to get a little bit closer to your end goal. And whatever that might be, make it something that you follow through on consistently. Whether it's your family situation, or perhaps your career, or your finances, what would you like to change? Well, you know what? You have the power to change it. You and only you. Set a goal and do the little things to make it happen. Good luck.